showing up to today's live stream, whoever's out there. I wanted to discuss, well, we can discuss different things, but I wanted to, off the top, discuss this house build that I've done here in the province. I posted a video recently about this project that I've been working on, building this 80 square meter-ish house in the Philippines provinces. And there's just a few things I wanted to clarify, and if anybody has questions or has their own experiences building houses and whatnot, we could all talk about it. It could be fun, right? So anyway, yeah, it's a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people want to build homes, and it's maybe a fantasy that we all have at some point in life, right? To like build your own house or whatever. And I guess I'm glad I did it, of course. But I probably wouldn't do it again just because I don't know, it just didn't really interest me. And some of it's not worth the stress. Not that it was like stressful to do it. I put a lot of faith in, the people we were dealing with and the neighborhood. And, it's a small knit community, so everybody kind of knows each other. So I kind of put my faith in that. And I really pretty much just wrote the checks, so I didn't really like manage it too much because I didn't really want to. But everything worked out in the end for sure. But it did take me a couple of years. And I just want to clarify off the top. I think I kind of gave this quote because everybody likes to talk numbers, and I try to avoid it on my other videos. But I've decided to share them in my last one because I thought maybe it could help some other people or whatever. So when I gave like the total cost, that included the land as well. Okay, so land, construction, labor, permits, everything. And I think I said 41K, but I went back through and I looked at it. I think it's actually, it might be less, a little bit less than that. So like maybe in the neighborhood of like 35 plus. Because I think I had some other payments like locked up in those deposits or whatever. So I may have missed that. But anyway, yeah, it worked out. It's all good. And, things worked out. So that's the good news. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine like a lot of people probably exaggerate, possibly lie about money or whatever. It's just human nature, I guess. But yeah, I pretty much gave you guys the ballpark of what I was dealing with, and it's kind of in the mid-range, and you actually break down the prices and stuff. So, we made out okay. So, and it was well built. It was well put together. Good concrete, good everything, on and on and on. But yeah, I think, like I said, with the land, because and another clarification I wanted to make is for some reason, this just shows you how hands off I was in this whole process. For some weird reason, okay, I thought that it was, what do you call it? Oh, like 100 square meters, right? And I don't know why I thought that. I think because like originally that was my plan. And so I think mentally I just went with that. I didn't even look at the I was looking at the paperwork today, and it's 80 square meters, all right? So I just wanted to get that out there. So, yeah, that was incorrect. But I pinned a comment to clarify that. So, which means the house is probably like 60-ish square meters plus the roof deck. Now, the roof deck, that was like an added expense or whatever. And so, I'm not like a surveyor or anything, so I don't really know, or I'm not into like real estate. Again, I gotta be honest, like this stuff just really doesn't interest me. It really doesn't, So like, I didn't really want to get too hands-on. But anyway, I included the square footage of the roof because it's like its own entity, I thought. So with that in the 60 or whatever, it's like, around 100 square meters. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there. Um, let's see. Parth Mojito says, "How are you, my brother? Is 75 square meters big enough for two people?" Yeah. Yes, I would imagine. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. I would think so. Yeah. But anyway, because I had. I mean, I'm appreciative of the guy that pointed that out too. And he was a real smug cocksucker about it and everything, but that's okay. I mean, sometimes you got to, uh, take criticism. So he mentioned that he's like, it looks smaller than 100 square meters, and I was looking at it. I know it was just so funny because I made this whole video, and then I had to immediately clarify it, like in the pinned comment and all that, because, whatever. But anyway. My point is that I think in reality, at the end of the day, by the way, hit that like button, guys, whoever's out there. We have people here. Naomi Strata says, hello, bro. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Carnivore says, I don't know what prefab is. Where am I from? Okay, great. Thanks. Who else is here? Ground termites will get to that wood. Which wood are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm happy I did it, guys. I am. I mean, because really it's like, it's for the kids, for the future, all that. And that's all good stuff. But would I do it again? Probably not. Not because I had a bad experience, but it's just like, I just don't like it, There's something about just the whole home genre. Like, see, a guy like me, like, I'll live in the truck, I'll go live on a beach. I'm a simple guy, Just put me on a beach, give me some vitamins, a gallon of water, and some lean meat, give me some good waves in the ocean, and I'm happy. I'll live on the beach. But that's just me. But, we have kids. Society judges them like where they live and all that, so you got to make sure they're in like the nice middle class neighborhood and blah blah blah, because they don't really have a choice. Like the kids don't really choose if they want to live in a van down by the river, right? So. All right, I'm gonna have to kick you off the channel, pretty boy, unfortunately. This isn't a place where you get to lash out with your homoerotic fantasies, okay? So you're going to have to stop. All right, Kenny says door frame. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I worry about all day, Kenny, is termites eating a fucking door. But thanks for pointing that out. That is a possibility, I would imagine. Yeah, I guess there are termites somewhere. Fortunately, we're not really like in one of those flood zones, right? So there's actually a list, I guess. There's some kind of thing somewhere where you can check, if like your neighborhood or your province or your barangay or whatever, it's in these different levels of flood zones, right? Because like flooding is a big, serious issue in this country with typhoons. Pretty obvious, right? Well, you would think it's obvious, but, I mean, flooding's serious, dude. Like, barangays get wiped out, dude. So, you got to make sure that that's, on the up and up. And fortunately, we're not in a flood zone, but I think they raised it anyway. I just think that's something you do here, because it does rain a lot. Let's see. Okay, all right, but yeah, the color, I wanted to like color it something like, really wild and different, like, I don't know why, like, I want like these psychedelic colors on the house, like like blue or yellow or purple, like a dark purple. It's really weird because I was saying that, and like one of the houses in the neighborhood is actually dark purple, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good, you know. So I don't know. Thank you, Naomi. Yeah, well, it's ready to move in. I can move in it right now. I just haven't done it. I guess I'm not in a hurry, but yeah, it's ready to be moved in. Kenny says, just replaced a door frame at my wife's house with metal. So is that the big thing you're worried about, Kenny? Is termites eating your door? Does that keep you up at night? See, this is the other reason why I didn't want to build some like, invest all this money in building some like really nice like high-end luxury house, like, 300 square meters. And I mean, it's just like, fuck. Isn't that a lot to maintain or something? You know? Excuse my language. There's nothing against it. I'm not judging it. It's just not for me. I mean, the way you got to look at this stuff in these developing countries, anyway, the way I see it, it's just my little 2 cents, is you got to just look at it as your donation, right? You got to give it to your Filipino wife or your kids or whatever, because you're more than likely never going to see that money again, right? But you get these like real estate McMillionaire tycoons out here, wannabe tycoons, and I don't. I mean, I'm not judging, but they want to like flip the houses and refurbish and be the big dog in the neighborhood who knows everything about real estate and building. And it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes they get into trouble. They can't really hack it. Hey, Tangerine, thanks for coming out. What's up, Ben? Naomi, is Naomi your right name? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Hello, Maria. Thank you, Tangerine. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm glad to do it. Glad I did it for my kid. Glad he's got a house. Glad that we can all live there. But would I do it again? Probably not. Uh, I just I wasn't into it. I got to be honest. I just wasn't into it. I just wrote the checks. Look, you got to put a lot of faith in people, man. This is what it comes down to, right? You got to have faith in, your girlfriend, your wife, the people you're dealing with. Especially if you're somebody like me and you're gone, you're working, you're coming back and forth. I mean, I can't be there with a whip to manage the project, nor would I want to. I just, it all worked out, But yeah, back to the pricing. I kind of avoided like disclosing that previously because I assumed there would be a lot of disagreements or interpretations. But I thought, you know what, maybe that can actually help people, and I'm not going to like exaggerate or lie about it or underdo it. But Gloria says men have to realize they don't get sexier when they retire. Only their money does. Yeah. Am I the exception to that? I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like old lately, like past couple weeks. I don't know, man. I'm getting like tired. I've gained weight and I'm kind of fat and I'm like not digging it. I've gained about 10 pounds and you know and yeah, yeah, you know, it's aging's not really fun for anybody, I don't think. Not sure how that works, but still figuring that out for myself. What do we got here? How's everybody else out there? You guys doing well? What do we got? All right. Yeah, Martin says, I can tell from your experience, brother, the answer is the gym for all men. Yeah, I think so, man. I gotta say, it just, it kind of like gets me recentered and, it's just great. It really is. It's great. But yeah, glad to be back in the Philippines, of course, and glad we can make these videos. I kind of been, I've been on YouTube for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and I do like it actually. But yeah, I got mixed views on social media and vlogging, as a lot of people would, I imagine. But I'll stay positive. I'm not going to start ranting or anything. I just wanted to clarify that about the house thing, because I was like, because originally I said 100 square meters, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even look at it. I just, like 2 or 3 years ago, that's what I had in my mind, right? And when we bought it, I didn't actually, or maybe I forgot, and then I was like, oh wait, it's smaller. It's kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, so in the video, like I said, with the land, with the house, I think I said something about $41,000, but I think it was actually, and I'm not just saying this, because I think I lumped it in with other payments when I was looking at my account or whatever. So I'm thinking it was between 35 and 40. All right, I just wanted to clarify that, just to put it out there. Naomi says your channel's growing though. I haven't really been pushing it. I mean, it comes in waves, and it comes in waves. But I'm drinking Coca-Cola. Yeah. All right. I gotta open the door. We can talk about, what should we talk about, or maybe should we wrap this up? What time is it? Oh, we're only 20 minutes in. My goodness gracious. Good heavens. Damn, I'm hot, dude. I gotta open the door. Okay, sorry, I got the air conditioner on in the other room. So, yeah, house is ready to be moved in. Haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll do it. We'll see what happens. Anyway. But yeah, back in the Philippines. That's where I am. I'm back here, man. And it's good to be off work. And it's just good to see, my son, basically. So I'm happy about that, for sure. We've been watching a lot of Godzilla movies. So that's been cool. Not a lot, too. You're welcome, Richard. Thank you. Naomi says, I remember when I started following you, it was under 2,000 subs. Now it's 17,000 plus. Oh, wow. You've been around that long, huh? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we got a good returning viewer kind of thing, A lot of good amount of people that return to watch the channel, which is pretty cool. Not the biggest channel, but I think we do okay. We pull our own weight, for sure, in this Philippines expat blogging community, and it's quite a community, let me tell you, folks. It's sometimes you like it, sometimes you want to pretend like you're not part of it. So that's how it goes. Tom says, thank you so much for your interest in open video. Could you please repeat the size of the plot in the footprint of the house? I myself own an undeveloped plot of land in Roxas City. Yeah, so it's kind of the main reason I'm doing this live is because basically the lot itself is about 80 square meters, okay? Originally, I thought it was 100. I don't know why. That was what I had in my mind like a couple of years ago. And apparently, I never even looked at the, what do you call it? You know, the title or all that. So, yeah, the house is, I want to say it's like 60 square meters plus the roof deck as a whole, like, other entity type of thing. So it's around 100-ish of like space, but that doesn't count as enclosed space. So, you know, I didn't really know much about this, guys. You know, I tried to put it together at the last minute to make a good video, and then I just realized I had to clarify that. But okay, what I wanted to say, you know, breaking down all the prices, I think, you know, I landed about mid-range for the size, and that's good, you know, because obviously you don't, you know, want to pay too much or you don't want to pay too little or have bad quality materials and all that. So we hit it about mid-range. It worked out, and I have no complaints because I didn't really, like I said, I wasn't really around at different times to be watching people, and I didn't really manage it, truthfully. I just pretty much wrote the checks. So, but what I wanted to say, Tom, was I think with the land at the end of it, I ended up between somewhere, I want to say 35,000 to 40,000 US dollars. I said 41 on the video, still trying to figure out why I said that. I think I lumped it in with some other payments, which I'm surprised because I'm usually really good at, you know, keeping track of my numbers and stuff. But I want to say that. I want to say it was between like 35 and 40. That's my final speech on that. Yeah. Richard says, the house I want to build is around 100,000 Australian. Hello, thank you. Yeah, and welcome to the channel, guys. If you haven't been here before, I'm Captain Trucker. That's my name. It's on my birth certificate. It's what it actually says. First name Captain, last name Trucker. And yeah, that's who I am. It's on my passport too. And yeah, I'm an American expat. I've spent significant time in the Philippines. I've spent a lot of time over the road driving, you know, trucks. And I've been on this channel for about 3 years, maybe 3.5 years. Met different people, but enjoyed doing it. I used to do a lot more live streams, but frankly, I just got to reserve my energy sometimes because I used to really, you know, I was doing the live streams and we were hammering them out and getting good views, but there's just so much energy and, like, you know, and most of the people were cool, of course, like Tangerine and all these other, most of you guys in here, but then I don't know what it is, like there's just like, I would find myself engaging with too much of just people, you know, whatever they call them, you know, trolls or just people just like say the stupidest shit, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, like, give me a break here. You know. And yeah. Anyway, should we talk about some housing stuff, or do you guys want to transition this conversation? Godson area. Damn Car says, I think you have a good life. I mean, life's what you make it, man. I mean, it's like, you know, You could be in a developing country or in a rich neighborhood in a non-developing country or whatever, and it's like, I don't know, it's whatever you make it, man, you know? Did you like that speech, son? Okay. Emma says, I like the way you talk, no pretense. Yeah, I think the older I get, I just have, you know, less and less tolerance for, BS. I was like that as a kid too, but as I aged, it's even more, I'm losing more and more patience for nonsense. And I think, like, I have to distance myself from social media itself, right? So people have asked me, like, especially like these bloggers in the Philippines, like, I've watched a handful occasionally at different times over the years and different, but you got to keep a distance just from material in general because you don't want this stuff. Because I'm the type of person, like, if I'm friends with somebody, because I've been friends with other vloggers before, like, I'll get into their material, I'll get into them, whoever they are. It's like I just get into the people I'm around, right? I'm like just, you learn about people, you realize the way they think, and you see life through their eyes and all this stuff. And I'm realizing more as I age that you can't just get into like anybody that you come across with life. Like you kind of have to have boundaries and standards because it takes too much energy. And, there's sick people out there too, especially on social media, you know. And so you got to like keep distances. But so these days, I'd say the past couple years, yeah, I don't really watch the news. I don't watch vlogging. I don't watch a lot of things actually. I listen to some podcasts. I do listen to some podcasts the past couple years. What else do I listen? A lot of music, of course. When I'm driving over the road, because man, this world is filled with distractions, right? My God, it really is, man. There's a lot of distractions in this world. It's so true. It really is. And it's easy to get distracted. I'm getting into like wavelengths and stuff like that, and like this idea of frequencies, and I really do think that there's, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit spiritual here, but there is like interconnected dynamics in media, and I think like a lot of people are susceptible to influence. I think some people are susceptible to even hypnosis, and I think people believe stuff and they don't even realize why they're believing it, right? So it's interesting to watch that in social media too, and I guess I was kind of analyzing the audience of like the YouTube Philippines, what do you call it, vlogging community, and the type of people that watch these channels or those types of channels. This is kind of a hybrid channel, I guess, because I sort of got like both feet in two different worlds, so to speak. So I'm not fully immersed in the Philippines, and I'm not fully immersed in the U.S. Right? I'm kind of I don't know, on both sides or caught in between or something. But one of the biggest things I'm learning in life too is like more and more as I go on is like people just believe usually what they're bought into, right? So if people are invested in a country or a neighborhood and they've worked this job, and some people have legitimate careers, man, and like they really work hard in school and they study this stuff and they go to work for the establishment and they get these really good jobs. But I'm finding more and more just it's so much of this system, man, is like people are just bought in to whatever it is, right? Whether it's like middle class Americans, the Joneses, and I'm not even sure they know what they believe. And I see that too in the people that are like obsessed with like, you know, politics and stuff, and they start developing these really weird, um, us versus them and hating people, and it's like so many of these people are just doing like the bidding for the kings and queens, right? And they're always talking about independence in America. It's like you're not even acting independently, man. Like you're bought in. So what's that about? How are middle class Americans finding independence? And I think expat life is certainly a great opportunity for people that like want to be independent, right? So, and it's the same here. Like as an expat, that's why I would never fully invest like everything into a house, for instance, because I wouldn't want to be stuck in that, whatever that is, right? Like, I want to be able to move, man. I want to retire. Sorry, retire. I'm saying, in my older years or even now, I like being in motion. I like being in rhythm. I like going places. I don't want to be in the same environment for too long because it's not healthy. It's not healthy for anybody. Because we're creatures of habit, right? And if your habit is to do nothing, that's all you're going to do. Or if you're around the same people all day, they'll bore the hell out of you, whoever it is, And it's like that even in, I've lived in like middle upper class neighborhoods in California, like the Brady Bunch neighborhoods, rich neighborhoods. They get boring, dude. And that's why you hear that stuff about even growing up in the suburbs and people get bored or whatever. They get, what do they call it? Complacent, And that's why, like I have our relationship with money is perverted too. Like we look at money, especially on social media, right? Because you always see the signaling. It's always like a lot of channels that you see. And I'm not hating, dude. Like, it's cool. It is what it is. Like, if you're positive, you feel good about what you're doing, you're rocking and rolling, man. You got hundreds of thousands of subs and all that. That's cool. I mean, good for them, right? They're in that frequency, whatever it is, and they're rocking and rolling. But sometimes on social media, we just get a lot of signaling, right? It's a lot of wannabe stuff. Like, I want attention. I want to be famous. I want to be seen as successful and rich, and this is my blah blah blah, and I got the perfect. There's that, right? It's like that everywhere. And I think when you see that, like in social media, it's just like, oh god, it's just fucking nauseating, But there's not a lot of, yeah, it's nauseating. So, I mean, it's like, I need something real, man. I need like, we're living in a world of like higher powers of spiritual places and principalities and all this stuff, man. I really believe that, man. I really believe that we are in a legitimate spiritual warfare. I think that people are acting and doing things and they don't even realize why they're doing it. I think people are affected by spirits. I think that there's people of other influences, like purposefully or not, putting thoughts into some of these people's heads, literally. Yes, insert in thoughts. I said it. I'm just joking. Well, yeah, maybe. They study that like in abnormal psychology. They talk about all this stuff. That whole field was weaponized for a long time, basically to demonize people that didn't want to go along with the establishment. They'd put them in tubs with ice, wrap them in wet towels, and beat them and shame them, because they were like hearing voices or something, right? And they're like, oh, those people are crazy. But no, dude, they're like, even schizophrenia, I think, is highly misunderstood. Okay, I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, obviously. I think like schizophrenia for some of them, like they've tapped into like a spiritual dimension, right? And I think for some of them, the ones that aren't able to assimilate to the establishment, like what's his name, John Nash, that brilliant professor, or whatever. So anyway, they see things in the spiritual world, and it will disturb them. It'll crack their brain, right? And they get, it's hard for them to deal with that. So yeah, they basically just get demonized and put down and blah blah blah. So I forgot what we got put on that. Why did we get on that? Oh yeah, we're talking about like how sick social media. Sorry, the subject I find interesting. I don't know why. You guys with me on this, or am I talking to myself? What are we doing here? Oh God. Yeah, John says money is means. Richard says I'm positive ion. But yeah, you're not meant to fit in, right? Like, you are not meant to fit into the establishment, most of us. And that's okay. We all want, on some level, we want social acceptance. We want to be a part of some kind of group, whatever it is. And to be validated, to be understood, to be whatever, It's like, it's human need. So, with expats, for instance, they're kind of odd cookies too, right? Because they're sort of going on the outside of their home country, going to a new country, especially as Americans, because Americans don't go anywhere. So like American expats, there's going to be more of them, but what are they doing? And, sometimes these guys aren't really traveling to learn or to transform or to start a new life. They're taking the same shit that they've been doing forever into this new country, right? And so you get that, you get the you get that. I'm really rambling here, so I apologize if I've been off topic. And yeah. But yeah, you got to be careful, man. Like, you really got to be careful who you, like, dude, you look at the actual time you spend on your phone every week, right? Like, what are you really listening to? Who are you really talking to? I mean, life's short, dude. It really is. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not even saying, I mean, I have to take breaks from my own channel. I get tired of myself, believe me. Sometimes I watch my own videos and I'm like, oh my God, I can't listen to you for another minute. But then sometimes I like my videos, right? But I'm saying, like, when I'm feeling it. But my point is that we all have to take breaks from oneself or whoever we're watching. It's very normal. It's very healthy. Because, like, there's some weird shit in this community, dude. Like in this Philippines expat vlogging community. There's some strange shit, dude. But, you just got to take it in dosages, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, the past couple of years, I've kind of basically, the channel, I was really growing it in 2024, and that was all fun. It was exciting. It was new. And that was all cool and everything. Richard says, excuse me, what are you, I'm drinking Coke, dude. And I got my bottle of water, Coca-Cola. No, I'm not drinking Red Horse. But, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was growing my channel, right? So it was fun, it was exciting, it was like, everything was new. And then it got I can't explain it, but I would start doing some live streams, for instance, and it would start getting like these crazy views, like 50,000 views in the live stream, and even some videos are blowing up, and that's cool too. But sometimes, like when you start getting into those like really big volumes of numbers, it's kind of like you're starting to reach more of the mainstream general audience or whatever, and some of it's just noise, right? So then from like a sample of that, you're going to meet some cool people and all that, and that's good. But I started finding that when you really, and this isn't a big channel, but as channels do get bigger, I think you can't manage like this as a human being. You can't have anything meaningful with millions of people, right? It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. And because there's no way, it's like living in like New York City or a big city, right? It almost makes you more inhumane because you can't give each individual the proper humane attention or whatever, or vice versa. So, and this might sound weird to some people, but I'm not making excuses for why I don't have a bigger channel, but I'm saying I started becoming quite comfortable the past couple years doing the channel, more chilled, as opposed to like let's grow it. And I just kind of like the pace that I'm taking on it these days. I enjoy it more, and I've been actually talking to more people and having more meaningful conversations with individuals. And I think that's, at the end of the day, it's social media, and that's kind of the way to do it. It's to socialize, it's to connect, it's to help people. Otherwise it's all bullshit. I always wanted to make something meaningful, dude. That was the whole point. And there was just a lot of stuff in my head that I wanted to get out. But yeah, it is, the whole thing's mind-blowing, Thank you, Richard. But yeah, man, people are misunderstood. There's a lot of fear out there. There really is, man. People have a lot of fear. There's a lot of people that want to start YouTube channels, but they have a lot of fear. Like they fear, like whatever groups of trolls or anonymous people that, I guess, sit around and harass other men all day. I mean, it is what it is, right? They actually have their place, though, too. Like in an ecosystem to survive, because even, trolls get demonized, too, but they have their place. They do. As part of this whole magical balance and act of life. But yeah, my point is that some people are afraid to start because of those groups. But, there's really nothing to fear but fear itself. Who said that? Was that like Oingo Boingo, or did the president say that? Wisdom says, trolls are really disrespectful people, but not worse than a narcissist nor a psychopath. Well, you're going to get some of those too. I mean, there's people that are suffering, man. There's a lot of suffering out there. You realize that, like, even these troll groups and whatever, they got them in this community too. Is like, I kind of look at it as like, I feel like they were almost created by us vloggers and other people in a sense too. Some of them just want to be heard. Some of them have been neglected. They felt like they're at the bottom of whatever social groups and they can't fit in. I mean, some people don't have the talent to stand out. And this world's cruel, man. Like, people are nasty. People are judgmental. And everybody, I would say, or most people, that's the other hidden thing, is like you're constantly being judged all the time. The whole thing when they say like you're being judged anytime you walk into a door. Well, everybody needs love. Everyone needs love, man. And in the end, I think it's all about forgiveness and compassion and Christ. Because without that, people are going to end up miserable, angry, bitter. In the end, it's about Christ. That's my sermon. And it's just amazing how the scams continue, man. Sometimes I wonder what I would have been like if I really, I don't know, invested more time into studying. I invested more time into being turning my brain more into a database of information so I could, use stuff and it'd make me more creative because I'd have more resources to pull from. I'd probably be, God, I don't know what I would be doing, but I guess that can change in the future. What do they call it? It's I think I'd be able to put some chips into our head or something just to download information into our brain. Yeah, it's gonna get real gnarly in the future, man. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's gonna be wild. Wild times are ahead, folks. But yeah, man, frequencies. Oh, Neuralink, thank you. Or Neuron Link, or whatever it's called. That one, yeah. Yeah. Hey, no, and if you're mainstream, that's okay too. I have nothing against mainstream. There's nothing, I mean, these are all complex things, right? Nothing wrong with mainstream. It's just you got to be skeptical of any establishment that operates on a massive level and sort of tries to set standards, right? And let's face it, I mean, even there is levels of social functioning too, I think, on some level, because a lot of, I don't know, it's weird. It's like trolling psychology is interesting too, because some of them are, well, I'm not going to get into that, but it's just weird, some of them are scared, some of them are afraid, some of them have talent, some of them haven't been able to express themselves, some of them are just critical people. But I find more and more that oftentimes they just want to be heard, and they're scared, or that they have fear. I'm telling you, man, so much of this goes back to fear. That's why you're not supposed to fear bullies and fear this stuff. And you look at, what was it, David and Goliath? He just knocked the dude out with a rock. He was like this little shepherd boy, and he took out the giant like nothing, dude. Because he believed. He didn't have any fear. And he kicked that guy's ass, no problem. And he became like a king. So good for him. So we got to be encouraging people, man. There's enough for everybody. I don't want to spend my life fighting with people. That shit it's old, dude. I'm in a different phase of life. I'm in a phase where I want to encourage and I want to grow. I want us to embrace this. This is it. This is what we got. We got each other. So, we got to support each other mentally and all that good stuff. Wisdom says, looks like many don't even know what love even means. John, video producer, says, I like to empower people. It's my currency. I see them succeed. That's great, man. That really is. I mean, that really is. Yeah, and I'm realizing that more, too, as I age, is that, I think when you're younger, you do naturally, or when you're less mature, you can probably be a little bit more self-absorbed, even if you're not intending to. Because, and if like you're a talented person too, it can be hard, man, to acclimate, or you're expected to, be on a certain level or whatever. But I forgot the point I was trying to make. What was the point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, I was just saying that I think as people age, they start to realize that they have to connect with other people and share share what they've learned in their life, their failures, their success, and all that kind of stuff, because it can help other people and it's real. And yeah. Yeah. We're having a good conversation today, man. This turned out better than I thought. John Video says, Naomi says, belief without deeds is nothing, though. Yeah, I mean, that's that whole thing where, what is it, the Protestants and the Catholics, they differ on this thing. And what was it, James? Um, Faith without works is nothing, but to me, the way I interpret that is like, yeah, like if you believe, you're going to have the works, right? It's going to be there. It's like, yeah. Anyway, I can't get that deep into theology, but faith without works. Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, enjoy your work, because working's cool too. There's nothing wrong with work. I like work. Thank you, Maximus. Richard, when's the housewarming party? I don't know. All right, fellas, I'm going to get going. I appreciate you all watching. I enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you all. You guys be good out there, okay? Be good. Help each other. Do something positive, right? Appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, and thanks for all the new subscribers and anybody who's been around a long time. I do appreciate it. Yeah, right on. You guys take care. God bless. Be good. Bye-bye. That was good. I got a good vibe.